I have an insane data problem, and I think I have finally found the solution. I've got all of these hard drives and all of these hard drives finally in one place, and I think it's gonna work. Jump into the video to find out. Hey YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Let's get right into it. So I have been setting up a Synology NAS system in my office to be as a work server to store everything I have, to centralize everything I have, and then the real X factor will be for photography and videography to see if I can actually work off of it. And work off it will come into like several different categories. The first that I'd love to be able to do is just have all of my media there and be able to actively edit off of that. So whether that's Photomechanic, Lightroom, or maybe even Photoshop. And then the question will be really, can I edit video on it? So if I store the video, import it onto a computer, move it over to the NAS, put it on there, would I be able to actively edit video in Adobe Premiere while on the NAS? I've been on YouTube for a couple weeks now, just reading up about it, and finally took the plunge. So let's get into what I got, why I picked it, and how it's going from there. So I got the Synology. I got the Synology DS 1019 Plus 5-bay drive. So what that does allows me to put 5 hard drives in there, spin those up, make the magic. I had a Drobo system before this, and I basically stopped using it because it was so slow and old, and I started that thing back in 2012. So the big problem with it was that I couldn't keep up with the hard drives. And once you start having redundancy on the hard drives, the space that's available gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So what I did is I just stopped using the Drobo. And then that meant I started buying 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte, 8 terabyte drives. Like these things. I would put files on them and then just kind of shove them into a closet somewhere. The problem with that system though is every now and then I actually need one of these old things. Then I have to find the drive, I don't mark any of them properly, then I'm spinning around and wasting all this time. It's gotten dramatically worse over the years as I've taken on, instead of being like 100% photography, 0% videography, at this point I'm probably almost 60% videography, 40% photography. And as I'm shooting more and more in 4K, I'm filling up hard drives left and right. Like some projects are a hard drive all in their own. Like this one is a single project. And so that's just crushing me. I love working off of these Samsung solid state drives, but they're expensive and then I have to keep buying. Like I already have 2 of these and they're both full. 2019 itself, I filled up 7 hard drives and used an 8 terabyte backup to dump other stuff. But a lot of it's redundant because it's not organized very well. So very long way of saying I needed a centralized system. And memory has gotten cheaper and more stable, which is kind of cool. So I went with the Synology 1019 Plus because it seemed to be one of the best boxes that would take 5 drives, be able to do a bunch of the fancier stuff that you're supposed to be able to do without being like unbelievably expensive to the point where I don't want to spend this much money. So one of the fancy tech things is going to be the 10 gigabit Ethernet connection. This does not have that, and it's not upgradable to that either. Getting right in here. But the reason I didn't do that is because to do that, you have to pay for an upgrade on the box. You have to pay for a different adapter on the box. Then you have to pay for a different adapter on the computer. Then the drives in the Synology have to be probably solid state drives to be fast enough. And the computer also has to be capable of handling that. So that just is so much infrastructure and so expensive. There's no point, and then now I'm losing the goal of actually saving, of being able to create a server where I can actually put a lot of space and not spend a ton of money doing it. So inside the Synology, I put 5 Iron Wolf, Iron Mountain, Iron whatever, Seagate hard drives, all 10 terabyte hard drives. So that's 50 terabytes right there. Then I also got 2 of the solid state drives. Well, actually, I got 1 of the solid state drives because the other one didn't show up yet. And these are not for storage. These are just for caching, so that the files that you're actually accessing a lot, it'll kind of like move it up to the front of the pile. So that should be pretty cool. Yeah, so I got it the other day. I got the Synology itself the other day. And since I got it, I've just been dumping files onto it. So I've been just trying to clear off all my drives, get it over to there, and then from there, then start organizing it. So the setup process itself was actually extraordinarily easy. Put all the drives in, plug it in, you're good to go. From there, I should be putting up the screencast. It literally was just go to a website on your computer as long as it's connected to the same network, go onto it, do some steps. I went with the HSR setup for the RAID, I don't know if that's the right term, which allows for the most expandability and kind of like the easiest beginner mode while giving me some redundancy. So that's one of the things to realize, that just because I got 5 10 terabyte drives doesn't mean I get 50 terabytes of storage. With the HSR setting, I get actually, it came out to 38.5 terabytes. What that means is if one hard drive goes down, I have redundancy. And then I can replace that drive immediately and I don't lose any data. So that's good. It's like really important to know that a RAID system is not a true backup system because it can fail, and it can fail catastrophically. So what I have on top of the NAS system is also then I'm using Backblaze's B2 cloud service, so that can integrate in with the NAS, and then in the background is always just backing up the NAS itself. So the Backblaze cloud server is actually the backup system. The NAS is really just to be a place where I can store stuff and maybe work with it. Like, I haven't really done that yet, so I don't know if it's gonna work. So first impressions now that I've gotten 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I've put 9 different drives onto the NAS. And my first impressions so far are really good. It's been running fine in the background using the disk station manager, whatever their proprietary program is, very easy to do and pretty intuitive. The way I've actually made the transfers so fast and how I've moved, I think I moved 12 terabytes already, is I actually used 2 different computers the whole time. I have one computer, my main workstation, that's plugged into the network, and it's hardwired into the network. The NAS is hardwired into the network. And then I have an old computer that I use it for really nothing but like doing like long copy projects or like backups. And I have that also plugged directly into the NAS. And so then I have hard drives plugged into both of those, and I'm just literally like, it just shows up as a network place. I can just drag, copy, paste, and then copy all those hard drives there. So that's basically more than doubled my backup speed in a short time to be able to help me clear off all those drives really fast. What's cool that I've figured out and makes my life very good is that once all the files are there, I can use the file station manager to then move and reorganize all the content. So like, for example, like family pictures and stuff, I had those spread over, like accidentally spread over like 3 different drives. Within like 5 to 10 minutes, I was able to reorganize all those folders on the NAS itself and put them all where they should go. Then like all of the active life content, I'm able to then move into one station inside the, I think they call it a storage pool inside the NAS. So now all of a sudden my stuff is actually like organized, which is next level crazy for me. That's kind of like the first impression. Setup was very easy, drives running easy, using the DSM was very easy, moving stuff over has been very easy. The next question is going to be, can I work off of it at all? So that's going to be video number 2 because I haven't done it yet. So like, comment, subscribe, check it out, and we'll see how this thing works.